Welcome to Natural Balance Virtual Masterclass. My name is Neal. Most of you watching this, you already have an awareness of Neal. You already have met Neal. You already have heard Neal speak. You already have interacted, commented, conversated with Neal. If you have yet to meet Neal, hey, my name is Neal. Neal is my name. Neal's not who I am. Who I am is a multi-dimensional, infinite spiritual being that's expressing through a human body. I'm a child of God the Father. I'm here tonight in communication through the spirit of Earth, the Mother. And it's specifically the spirit because the God the Father is this container, this channel, this thing that maintains creation, and it's the mother essence, it's the flow that is expressing through that channel as a creative spiritual essence through creation. And there's a doorway to the Father, to all that is, and that is where the Son comes in. And the Son in this specific case is Jesus, and all roads lead to Rome. So in this case, Rome is the doorway, and in this case, the doorway is Jesus, and it's the access point to the full-on experience of merger with God the Father. And to the degree that I let go, to the degree that I open up, to the degree that I open up my heart, I open up my voice, I open up my ears and my senses to receive, it's to that same degree that I open up that spirit can flow, that there's capacity for something that is part, like Neal's part of, but is only an aspect of. And to the degree that I open up, it's to that same degree that that essence can come through the body of Neal. And right before this masterclass, I would say that I was in a mind state, a way of being rushed, of being pushed, of being like needing to get somewhere on time, needing to have things done in this specific manner. That way, once they're done in this specific manner, I can actually literally show up in the way that I prefer. It just so happens my preference wasn't met prior to this masterclass. So fuck my preference, fuck your preference. The preferences are irrelevant. What's relevant is surrender. And it is this surrender that it's this surrender specifically that has Neal standing here right now. Last week in Natural Balance Masterclass, I had a full stomach. This week in Natural Balance Masterclass, I have an empty stomach. Part of my preference is having a full stomach. So like reflecting on earlier today, I was literally on the Grace 2 property and uh, preparing space for the planting of fruit trees. And during this preparation of space, there's a channel for that to occur. And then additionally, there's a channel for this masterclass to occur. And additionally, uh, I can create a channel for eating food, or I can just have that be in flow. And what what happened was that these channels are in place. All right, so I'm at Grace 2. I'm implementing and we leave that property. And when I say we, it was Dennis and I left the property. We're driving home and um, flow happens, spirit happens, and it shows up in the form of, wow, look at all this yucca right here beside the road. There's actually a potential to harvest yucca cuttings to plant on the property tomorrow, and I have the channel of like being on time here. And I actually specifically have a channel of eating food and then the channel of being in this master class where flow happens. Well, um, flow happened on the way here. I chose it. I decided, harvested like literally 2 sacos of yucca cuttings to plant, and I'm genuinely inspired about that. And there's like I have this vision of food abundance in the future. Like it's currently manifest, like it's currently here. Like I literally have a plate of food right here that I'm looking at that I'm like not eating because I'm here engaged fully. And so there's this vision of food abundance in the future, and then there's this channel of eating food right now. And so there's this choosing of, all right, so and then in addition, there's the channel of this masterclass. Uh, so so how to navigate that? Who wants to share?
Hi, Neal. I came in a little late, sorry,
Welcome,
but
Dave.
you were flowing. I heard that part. And planting for abundance, I will give you a testimony. So it's June here, and we've been receiving a lot of abundance from what we've done in previous activity. You mentioning fruit trees. We do a lot. We have a lot of berry bushes. We got our best gooseberry crop just the other day. Got a whole bowl full of gooseberries, which are kind of tart, sweet tart, almost like those sweet tart candies you might eat. It's funny because when you first taste them, you're like, "Ooh, that's really sour," but then you get an acquired taste. And then we also right now, in fact, my wife Brenda is harvesting blueberries, so they're coming on, and we also have black currants coming on. So the berry bushes are really flushing out right now. So I understand what you're saying. And the funny thing is, you mentioned cuttings. We have some mulberry trees, and you can simply cut off a branch, stuff it in some water, and it'll sprout roots, and you can have a new tree. So there's a clone. So we're starting some of those, and we also had from last year some plum seeds, and Brenda put them in some soil, and we have these little baby plum trees. And we're like, what do we do with these things? And we don't have a room for them, so we're gonna go to a natural area where we walk the dog and do a guerrilla garden and just plant them, so that maybe in 10 years' time there'll be fruit trees there and plum trees to help ourselves too. You know, we walk on by, you just kind of grab them and enjoy. So one of the things we have to deal with though is birds. I mean, I just put up netting to my blueberry patch just yesterday with some hoops, some PVC pipe hoops that I happen to have, and some netting to keep the birds out because last year we had a really beautiful flush of blueberries and the birds got most of them. We weren't paying attention, and you know they're very attentive. When they turn blue, they're on them. It's really like they're not right for us. We don't touch them. Neither do the birds. But as soon as they get ripe, man, they're on them and they eat them. So you got to watch the birds, or plant 1,000 trees, and there's enough for you and the birds. So anyway, just
Yes.
want to reflect on that that flow of you know, you put this energy into planting trees, working with God's abundance, and then the flush comes, and then you're enjoying this fruit, and there's no better than opportunity than picking the fruit and eating it right away because you got all the nutrient density. It's not sitting in a store for a week and degrading. It's alive right then and there. So you really feel it when you taste it, the nutrient density, and it's a real joy. And that's the real part is the joy of even if it's only a handful, it's a handful of fresh berries you can enjoy right now. So we're experiencing that now, and it's very exciting.
Thank you for sharing, Dave.
And I'm complete with that.
May I share?
Yes, welcome, Neal.
Thank you. When you were sharing about that fruits and about that abundance, it's such a like incredible. We have mango season here at Costa Rica right now, and I'm on the land where it's just like mangoes like putting everywhere, and it's so amazing. Like eat it from the tree and know from the store how they shared. So thank you just for reminder that it's everywhere.
You're welcome. Is that complete or is there more?
Yeah, when you were sharing about your rush before you came here on this masterclass, I find myself there because I was in the similar situation. I wasn't on the time because I just, so it's perfect, like how we can see at every situation we can find like ourselves there. So this is just what I wanted to share for now. Thank you.
You're welcome. Dave, do you got your hand up again?
Yes, I had a question for Mia
Yes.
there. Mentioning the mango season. I actually bought a mango. We ate it yesterday, and it was so delicious. So my question is, in Costa Rica, are the mangoes ripe when you pick them, or do you have to wait like a week for them to ripen? Are they ready available to eat right off the tree, or like ripening on the tree?
Well, my experience right now is when they fall down, they are like ready to eat.
Okay, yeah, so they're falling. Yeah, because I'm in the north and we buy them, they're hard. So you gotta let them sit for.
I'm not sure how they do that. I think that they are like picking them that when they are not like fully ripe, but this is just my
Correct.
assumption.
So that was my question to you, though, is that when they fall from the tree, they're ready to eat, right?
Yep.
I'm sure the flavor is phenomenal, correct? I mean, there's nothing better than a mango that's ripe.
No, it's really epic.
Oh my God. And you have abundance of I mean, my head's popping with mangoes just like everywhere.
Yep.
This is the most awesome fruit. All right, awesome.
Welcome, Cheryl.
I just checked behind me. There's a mango sitting on the counter.
I don't know what you would ever do with that mango.
I'm gonna eat it. Yeah. So hello everybody. Canada in the house. Oh, a banana, yes. We don't grow those there. Right now, it's strawberry season, so getting fresh strawberries to eat right off the plant is just as beautiful. And rhubarb. We have lots. Oh, pineapple. Very good. Is that out of your own garden? We can't hear you.
You're
I don't
muted,
live
mate.
in,
There you go.
I do not live in Costa Rica. Well, here's the thing. We have tickets for the Remember Experience in August, and I was just on the I was on a phone after the yesterday's spiritual gathering, and I hooked up with Brandy, who's in Canada, in Toronto, and we're trying to hook up to in our flight so we can both fly in at the same time, and then get a flight to Capos, and then drive into Earthwaking. So we're making that plan. But the thing about it, Costa Rica is, yeah, the pineapples. Best pineapple I ever had was in Costa Rica because they ripen and then they cut them for export. They cut them before they're ripe, and it takes a week for them to ripen. So you'll get the maximum flavor when it ripens on the actual plant, and then you clip it. Same with the banana. The bananas we get are green. In Costa Rica, you pick them and they're like this. So they're full of flavor, and they haven't had. You're not picking them young. You're getting them when they're already ripened. That's what I was asking me about the mango, how they're tasting right on the ground. So that's what's really exciting about the fruit down there is it's really vibrant in flavor, even though they're still good up here. But we have to import them. So fortunately, that pineapple was all of $1. Here we go, right here. Look at this.
Blueberries. You want some, don't you?
So, he's speaking about fruit and bounty. So we're on that topic.
Yeah, nice.
Sorry to interrupt, Cheryl.
That's okay. I wonder what she's making out of that.
We eat them raw, straight up. We really don't. The thing about fruit is that if you cook it, it goes from an alkaline thing to a acid, and it's not. You don't get the same vitamin profile. So we like to eat it raw and straight up. Just as a snack in the mouth with yogurt sometimes too.
I have an issue with not having enough digestive enzymes, and I find raw fruit is way more digestible than a lot of other foods. So it's the way I like it.
Perfect.
Welcome, Brenda.
Yeah,
Thanks, Brenda.
hey, good to see you.
Good to see you.
So Mia was just talking about mangoes in Costa Rica are in season, and they literally fall out of the trees, and you can pick them up and eat them because they're ripe and ready to go.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, my mouth is watering.
So I think the mango tree is proof that God loves us. The fact that not only are there mango trees, but they're there in abundance. So when they fall out of the sky, basically it's saying God is showering you with love.
And so it is with all the fruit trees around. Like here, we just go from one season to another. Soon it'll be, as you were saying, blueberry season. After that, before that is cherry season. So if a person knows, especially older people that don't want to take care of their fruit trees anymore, you can do something that we call gleaning here, where the people that pick get a third of the crop and the people that own it get a third of the crop. And if you feel like it, you can give a third of the crop to the food bank or whomever that might be in your community, or you leave them on the trees for the birds. Those are, the three sort of choices that you have. And it seems to work fairly well. Different people tend to pick things, and our big thing that people pick around here is apples in the fall. So there's a lot of apples, and make apple cider, apple juice, apple pies, everything. Right now it's rhubarb everything. And I don't know if it's 100% true, but I understand in vegetables, if things are the shape of a certain shape, like kidney beans are good for your kidneys and strawberries are good for your heart. But with rhubarb, I guess that must be good for your bones, because they're long and they're stringy. So lots of rhubarb happening right at the moment. Yeah.
Cheryl, what part of Canada are you in?
Central British Columbia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, about halfway up
Nice.
to Jasper. Yeah.
Right, you got to enjoy that while it comes on because you have a long winter.
It's hard to believe it's already the sun is already going down sooner than it did last week. Yeah.
Sure enough.
Yeah. I've been in places like Costa Rica where the temperature is always pretty much the same. And I actually think I prefer it here where we get to we get to experience snow and rain and heat and swim in the lakes in the summertime and sit on top of them and fish in the wintertime, so it's quite the different part of the world, I guess. Yeah. So where are you from, Jah Love Dave?
I live in upstate New York. We're like halfway between New York City and Montreal. So we want a Canadian flavor. It's only about 3 hours north. And we can go west and enjoy Toronto, not Toronto. Yeah, Toronto and Ottawa
Nice.
or Montreal. So Montreal is the French speaking part. And then the English part is Ontario. So we're not too far from Canada, but we too have the apples in abundance. It's a big apple growing area. So in fact, New York is known for its apples and apple cider, and it's a big deal. So that's not until September though.
Yeah.
So right
Yeah.
now we're, like you said, we're enjoying the berries, and then the next thing up was, well, corn is like August. So every month there's a burst of activity, which is exciting. And obviously we got winter too, but like you said, the lakes freeze and people fish on top of the ice. Up here too.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when you look at things through a garden's eyes, it's really actually sort of seeing people, us through our lives. The folk on that side are kind of like on the younger side, and the folk on this side are kind of like on the older side, and the life experiences that we've gone through are sort of like, first you're a seedling, and then you're a nice, strong, healthy, whatever, and then all of a sudden you produce
Sapling.
fruit, and then then you're really moving along, and then poof, all the fruit moves away from home, and some of the apples don't fall far from the tree, but it's really an analogy about things that go on in life, is when you sit out there in the garden and you kind of go through what it is to produce your own food, and then that always leads me to worrying about the people in the cities that don't have the capacity or the knowledge or even the want or anything to do that, and how
That is the work.
the whole thing leads us back to who's responsible for us, and I guess that's one of the conversations I was having with my 80-some-year-old friend that I was just visiting, and everybody's always yelling for her daughter, and the poor daughter is like frazzled, right? Because her husband's dying and her mother's on the edge, and she's the only breadwinner in the place, and we're going, but who made this story up, right? Who put everybody in these places? And we go, oh God, we did it to ourselves, and that's a tough thing to swallow, really, because like, what are the decisions that the younger folks are making, and where are they going to lead to when they're older, and how's it going to look, right? So that's my little frazzle.
Is there more you want to share, Cheryl, or is that complete?
No, that's pretty complete. Yeah.
So imagine like you've already got all the food you need. Like I'm hearing all this abundance. Like there's so much like food. Like literally, it's readily available. You got a full stomach. Now what? Why plant something? Why even take initiative? What shares?
Why plant something? Well, the neatest part is because in our case, we have a daughter and son-in-law. Well, he's kind of like an outlaw at the moment. They haven't really gotten married, but he's a nice guy, and they've been hanging out together for 10 years. But they bought a couple of years ago 50 acres, And so now we're trying to figure out how to work together to get this into a productive thing, sort of like what's going on in Costa Rica, right? And so 50 acres is quite a bit of land, really. And they have a bit of a farm thing going, selling eggs, and they have pigs and chickens and ducks and goats and quails and a swimming pool and a whole lot of work. And sheep, I forgot the sheep. And so just as a person's thinking, okay, they're basically 50, right? And what were we doing when we were 50? And now that we're in our 70s, what are we doing now? And how much can you possibly do between your 50s and your 70s? And then all of a sudden we add into that the most marvelous thing in the world, which is that my great-grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, so in other words, our daughters' grandchildren hang out there all of the time, right? And because their parents are split up, so they're always here or there or wherever. But they have a bedroom at Nana's house, and that bedroom belongs to those two girls. They each have their own bed, they have their books, they have everything they need, right? So and we're going to move over there too in a couple of years, right? So they're building for us. And so just the whole idea of how people can all work together to eventually get to live together, but to also provide for those great granddaughters in the long run. They'll know how to they'll know how to kill a chicken. They'll know how to deliver a pig. They'll know how to do things, right? That the majority of young people, or people, I should say, in the world would never get the opportunity of even knowing exists, much less participate in on a regular basis, right? And so I think of even other grandchildren or grandnieces and nephews in my own life, and how we have this one girl in our family that's kind of autistic, maybe, in a way, like really brilliantly smart, but could never slow down enough. What did they call that? Hyperactive, one of those words. Anyways, and they moved out onto a farm, and the girl is just in heaven. She's going to graduate with good marks, and just gone from a little rapscallion in the city to being a responsible teenager, right? And just all those kinds of things that are different between city folk and country folk, goes back to the story of the city mouse and the country mouse, I guess. We're just different. And even though I love to visit cities, I really do, there's nothing like the country. That's to sit in and think about your day, or just sit in and watch the clouds go by, and those wonderful things that you can do when there isn't an airplane dumping stuff on you, which happens more and more often nowadays. Yeah. So anyways, I feel complete. Next person who want to answer Neal's question is welcome to start. Mia, I guess that's you.
Yeah, it's so what is natural balance? Well, natural balance is your unique expression that's coming through your heart and expressing into the world. And like you, Cheryl, spoke to city folk and country folk, they're different. But there's one thing that's the same. That one thing that's the same is oneness. But oneness and being the same aren't the same. See, we're all one, but we're all unique. And it's this uniqueness that has us each be a contribution to each other to lift ourselves up, to literally contribute our gift, to literally share our heart. And we have capacity to do that by surrender. And what are we surrendering? Well, there's four components that I'm going to speak to, but there's actually even more than that. And this is also distinguishing the ego. So Component number one is we're surrendering my expectation. Component number two is we're surrendering my perception. Component number three, we're surrendering my opinion. And then component number four, we're surrendering my truth. So see, the ego speaks with these things. It'll say, hey, my expectation is this, and that this is going to happen at this time, and that I'm going to have food at this thing that in this moment, and then after that, I'm going to do this. And then God says, well, here's what actually is going to happen. And then your expectation just gets fucking just blown, like literally blown. And so it is in that moment of the expectation getting blown that we surrender. And it's in that moment of surrender that we open up to a greater purpose. We open up to a greater plan that, hey, there is actually something that is at play here that is larger than these stories that I'm making up in my head, and these expectations, this perception, this my truth, this opinion. There's a greater picture here, and if I stay attached to any one of those, that attachment is directly linked to suffering. So it's in letting go of attachment to those specific components that I open up to express something that's beyond those components, which you can call love, you can call it God, you can call it the fascia that oneness is connected with, like literally the web of creation. And so now with opening up, with actually having that expressed through it, the perception might show up, and the expectation might show up, and the opinion might show up, and the my truth might show up. And when it shows up to illuminate something to let go of, something to surrender farther. And we don't need to surrender that. If you want to keep your my truth, keep it. If you want to keep your perception, keep it. If you want to keep your expectation, keep it. If you want to keep your opinion, keep it. But know that it is in that keeping it and that attachment to it that is linked to the suffering that we experience in the human body. And now, in addition, those four components are tied up in our identity. And this identity is directly correlated with our name. See, Neal says, my expectation is this. And then Neal says, my opinion is this. And then Neal says, well, my truth is that this is what is. But there's something beyond what Neal thinks is, which is what Neal has capacity to channel when Neal surrenders what he thinks is going to happen. Who wants to share?
I got something there. I've been listening to Dr. Joe Dispenza lately on as I travel on some podcasts, and he talks about your personality is your personal reality. So it's the things you just spoke of there, Neal, that you, Neal, is your egoic self that has all those things, expectations, perceptions, opinions, truths. And while that is all based on your personal reality, there's a deeper part of you, the deeper self, the true self, which is the link to the eternal God, the timelessness, that has its own perhaps perception and truth, and that's the true truth. So it's actually, that's the surrender. You're saying that I am getting out of my ego, my personal reality, and I'm going into my timeless reality, what is truth, and trying to let that flow out. So when you suppress or surrender your egoic self, you let through. You mentioned flow in the beginning of all this. You allow that flow to come, and that flow is actually your true self coming forth, and it's expressing its true desire, which is even Neal's true desire, because God's desire is your desire. You just get in the way. Me personally, I'm getting in my way all the time. That's my own realization, is that that egoic self is blocking the flow, in so many things. So by surrendering, you allow that flow to come through, the true self appears and say, hey, and I'm noticing this too with the word desire. We let go of desire, which is also part of surrender. Then the things of the true self come forth, and those are what you truly do desire. It's not the superficial. It's not the, I mean, fast cars and big houses and trips to tropical landscapes are beautiful. But is that your true self seeking those, or your egoic self? Whereas you humble yourself, you listen to that true self, and then what comes forth is that true joy. When that desire is fulfilled, you're fulfilling the truth that's within you, and then you have the biggest smile. And I think that's what's reflected in you guys there in Earth Waking. I see last time I was there, these just immense smiles, these immense glowing of people. Mia, you were glowing. Dancing around, just expressing yourself as a butterfly, dancing and bouncing, and just enjoying being. So that's it. Let that flow come through, but it is blocking or letting the ego fall away for your true self to then emerge, and that is by that surrender you spoke of, Neal. So thank you.
You're welcome. It's so right now in 3 minutes we're going to enter a new space of giving and receiving gifts, and so start to feel in what offer you have that you can offer, that you can present, that you can give as a gift from your heart, as an expression of your true self, so that this gift can literally be received by someone else. And so right now, with this conversation of the true self is it's beyond identity, and it is beyond perception, because it's purely the truth. And the truth speaks from a place of completion, which transcends these constructs that we typically operate from, and we start operating from as we grow up from a human perspective. But then we go from my truth to the truth, and the truth is coming from a space of being whole and complete, which is the ground that you're standing on. And it's this whole and completion, this groundedness, that then can be operated from. And when operating from this whole and completion that is beyond the perception, that is beyond the expectation, that is beyond the my truth, the opinion, there is capacity to for miracles. Like, miracles are inevitable from a space of whole and completion. And so I want to invite everyone here to join next week, Natural Balance Masterclass. And and then in addition, these master classes are uploaded on YouTube on the Experience Podcast. So if you would like to watch previous master classes or watch the replay of this master class, you can go on the Experience Podcast on YouTube and directly access the recordings of these master classes. And so beings that of what I've now just spoken to, now we're in a space of literally giving our gifts, of opening up our heart, of opening up our brain, of letting go of our egoic self, of feeling our true essence, of standing on the ground of whole and completion, and coming from whole and completion with an offer, with a gift that is unique to our being, that is unique because it's coming through us, not unique because it's coming from us. It's actually not coming from us. If it's coming from us, it'll be it probably will not be, it'll be unique in the form of a story, of a my truth, of an opinion, of a perception, of an expectation. So when standing on the ground of whole and completion with the faith of purpose, of natural centeredness that we have capacity to be and that we inherently are, and we only ever choose to focus on the other things, but we always can focus on the centeredness that we are. Coming from that place, who wants to give an offer? Who wants to go first?
Okay, I can go first. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So it's my first time to giving the offer, and I really appreciate this space. I actually would like to share that my offer is for a land where I am last 3 months here at Costa Rica. It's a special land where it's so much healing and so much growing. And on the beginning of rainy season, we lost our roof for a greenhouse. So we are raising money for our roof, for our plants. And my offer is, if some of you would love to be a contribution, an angel who would love to donate for this project, the new roof for our greenhouse, I will be putting the information in the chat, and the exchange, you are very welcome to come when you are coming visit to Costa Rica. Just come and share the space with us.
Do you have like a minimum donation?
Well, whatever you are giving, it's coming back minimum 7 times. Somehow it's working in the universe. I don't have minimum donation. I just put whatever everyone feels.
And the donation link will be in the chat.
Yes, I will put the link in the chat right now. And if someone will want more information, you can contact me, and yeah.
Complete, or is there more?
Yes, I am complete. Thank you.
You're welcome. Who's next?
Can I ask a question, Mia? Where are you in Costa Rica? This land you're talking about.
It's EcoMaste land. It's probably 30 minutes from Earthwaking Village, and it's like a sister ship boat. And when you will be here, please come to visit us. It's like for me, how I feel that it's like a integration space after like big transformation events, like remember experience, for example, or whatever journey we are. I feel that this space, it's like a integration space. So it's just really magical piece of land, same like everywhere.
No, I it's ironic you mentioned that. I have a goal to connect with Jose and Amanda in EcoMaste, and we visited there last time, but there was nobody there. We were supposed to hook up with Amanda, so we wandered and we explored on our own, and we felt the magic, and I said to myself, this could be a place we need to return to. So I appreciate that, and I will greatly consider your offer. I think that place is amazing.
Thank you,
it's just-
and yeah, I am looking forward to host you when you and your partner will be here at Costa Rica.
Gotcha. With that, I can make an offer, Neal.
Go for it, Dave.
Okay. Well, it's I'm thinking about what we've just gone through here. And Brenda, she is very skilled in small animal husbandry. So I would like to make an offer for folks who are looking for food independence, who are looking for gaining new skills. And one of the early, probably the first, we call it the gateway species of permaculture is chickens. So offering a basic class, say an hour's worth of exploration of your goals and your desires to bring in food and sovereignty. And then we can walk through some of the basic steps about setting up a chicken coop, how to nurture chickens, whether you get the eggs or the chicks rather from another source, or you're getting eggs. There's several different avenues that you can do to raise the chicks, or you can start out with birds that are already mature. But it's great to start with the eggs because you have that full experience of the hatching and then the nurturing. And it's even better if you have a mother chicken, a hen, to do that mothering for you, because you don't have to. You let nature do its thing, and you're just there as a coach. So we want to coach whomever is interested in that gateway species of the chicken, and certain steps of what they eat, how to compost, using compost of your own food scraps, as and fodder as well, minimizing your inputs. There's fermentation that also is possible in certain things that you don't eat that the chickens will. And then it does come down to that day that you will want to harvest the chicken, because it is about management. You don't just raise the animals and let them run. It's a management thing. So there is a culling, there is a management of the birds that maybe you don't need or that aren't producing, and what that's about. The step of the culling, the harvest of the chicken, and then also how to prepare the meal and all that comes with it. So the full circle. So I'm offering that as a class. That was thinking it'd be a 2-hour class, where the first hour is exploration of your goals, needs, and wants, and the second hour, which would be probably a week later after you digest, and we digest action steps, and then what you can do to bring in chickens and to bring in that life and that hobby that can reward you in multiple ways, not just with food, but with also the experience of raising other animals, the zen of the chicken. It's a thing. So and allowing the chicken to be its full chickenness, so you can see the animal express itself in its true design as God intended it, which is why they're animals of choice of humans for centuries. You go anywhere in the world and there's chickens. So and it's a great step forward into the permaculture realm and into self-sufficiency. So I would like to offer that as a normally it's at least a $222 value, but I would be willing for this class to offer for simply $55 for anybody who's interested. And I can put my email in the chat and phone number, and you can contact me.
And then how do people donate to you, Dave?
Oh, I have, I'm sorry. Well, cash, Federal Reserve notes, gold, gold backs are good because it's a gold currency. Check it out, goldbacks.com. I'm also part of the Earth Waking Village, bridgebuckbank.com. I can put a link. Well, I don't have it on the fly right here. You can reach out to me.
If you don't have it right now, message it to me directly and I'll include it.
Yes. I would prefer to use Bridgebuck Banks because it's an internal currency of the New Earth. So that keeps the money growing in the community that we're creating here. So I will do that for you, but I'll just put an email there first and chicken. So yeah, it's my offer, and I'm complete. Cheryl,
May I have a question?
Yes, go for it.
go ahead. Yeah.
So Dave, if I would know someone or run someone who would be interested about your offer, can I like share that?
Absolutely. No, this is not just for you two here, three here. It's for anybody. It's to expand it outward, obviously.
Okay, so would
So,
you
yeah.
be willing to send me like the message with your offer directly that I can like link up with
I have
if
you. Is
don't-
this 506 your number? Are you on
Yep.
WhatsApp with that? Is that a
Yep,
WhatsApp number?
WhatsApp or Telegram or Signal, whatever you want.
Or Telegram? Okay, great. So I'll take your number down here, and I can message you directly, and you can just correspond.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Cheryl, do you have an offer or where?
No, I don't have an offer, but this is very fascinating. I guess I'm way behind times on what's going on in the village and all the rest of it. I don't need anything, but if you're ever in Canada, gosh, I'll take you for a tour of the Wells Gray Park. How's that? And I know the inside stories, everything from who was living in that house before and who got murdered where, and just the whole gamut of it all. So it could be quite a fascinating thing if you ever come to Canada. And so it's a long way from any of those places though. So maybe I'll come to see you first.
Amazing. And then when somebody shows up in Canada, how do they reach out to you? Can you put your information in the chat?
Oh yeah, I can give you my email. That'd be easy as pie.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And so in addition to right now having it in the chat, I'm going to speak to what I spoke to earlier, which is this video is uploaded to YouTube on the channel, The Experience Podcast. And all of these offers are in the description of this video. So so anybody, this is public, so anybody can access your offer. And you can also share this video with anyone to have the full experience of the virtual natural balance space, as well as specifically for the purpose of just this portion of the giving and the receiving of offers. So that's The Experience Podcast on YouTube. And you got a question on your face, Cheryl. What's up?
I hear you saying The Experience Podcast. Is that what you're really saying?
Yes.
Okay. On YouTube.
Spelled exactly how it sounds.
Okay, yes. I often hear things incorrectly. That's why I like to check.
So we're at 6 o'clock. I think I'm gonna go a little bit over. So if you need to leave, you're welcome to just leave at any moment. If you choose to stay, you're gonna hear an offer that I'm gonna present right now.
I can't stay because I really accidentally came on, even though I've always wanted to come. but I'm on another Zoom call in Earthwaking right now. So goodbye.
Adios. So this offer is for specifically plateaued event facilitators and healers, and it's for you. Like you're already leading events, you're already facilitating, but you recognize inside of yourself there's more. There's this next level step that you're ready to step into, that you're ready to move into and to upgrade and to expand your capacity to lead, to expand your capacity to be a space holder. And so the offer is the up level ceremony. And this is a minimum $333 donation event. And the location is in rural Costa Rica on Earthquake and Grace 2 property. And the dates for this event are, the start date is December 27th, 2024, and the end date is January 2nd, 2025. And this is a 5-day food fast where for 5 days we're in a fasted state. And through this fasted state, food is information. So when we are fasted, we experience clarity in the mind, clarity in the body, and literally we clear out the shit in our intestines, where there's now clarity in the organs in our body. And through this, coming out of this, there's on day number 6, we'll end the fast with fresh fruits and vegetables. And then we'll have like 2 days of conversation and networking and connecting and integration. And so if you're in, I'm gonna put my information in the description of this video. I'm not gonna put it in the chat right now. So if you wanna see this event, if you wanna see this full on laid out, look in the description on The Experience Podcast on YouTube. And with that, I love you. Who you are makes a difference. Now, natural balance is something that's always available. What's up, Mia? You had your hand up.
I have a question for the up-level ceremony. Would be okay with you to share that with the people? The same question for what I gave to Dave. I would also love to be part of that. Anyways, I know that this ceremony will be really epic, and I would love to feel free to invite the people with your permission, of course. So this is my question.
Yes, and by the way, there's a maximum of 30 people that's going to be at this event. So once 30 people are registered, that's complete. So if you're considering it at all, like, get your donation in. Your donation is reserving your spot. And then how you get there, and basically once your spot's secured, what's going to happen is we'll get on a phone call and we discuss further details.
Okay,
But
so I have a question.
so if you're actually considering it, yes.
I cannot put my donation at this moment, but I would love to like invite more people, so bring more people to that and like somehow work like my exchange. Would be possibility to find a way.
Possibility, yes. And this event is capped at 30 people. So if you're actually considering it, donate now, secure your spot, and be in that way. You're worth it. And what you can expect coming out of this is radiance, is cleanliness in the mind, in the body, a fire of a way of being, of expression that's coming from completion. And so that's my offer. Check out the description. Be sure, if you're watching this replay, subscribe, like this video, share this content, and please share these offers. And so natural balance is always available, and it's available to the degree that we open up, to the degree that we focus on it. And it is here now. Now is the only time that there is. And so when this Zoom call ends is a continuation and an opportunity of surrender to tap into what is your unique gift, your unique expression, which is always available and can and is always expressed when we choose to what? Surrender. And with that, peace.